Hey guys, thanks for checking out the podcast. Before we get started, I want to remind you about the very cool bucket list trip I am doing in 2026, the Smitty Learns Irish podcast, where I'm going to do my bucket list, hike Ireland for a year, learn about Irish history, town by town, through the mouths of the pub owners and regulars. Because what's a better way to learn about something you love than to experience it yourself? Patreon.com/we3Smiths, only $3 a month, and thanks for checking it out. And welcome to the Smith Hole. My name is Smitty from the What the Hell Everything podcast. If you're here, you know that. You know I'm about to do a deep dive into Rory Gallagher. Let's get this rabbit hole going with Rory. I have been falling in love with what I have heard from Rory Gallagher, just some of the most top-notch blues rock that I've ever fucking heard from possibly the best, most pure blues rocky voice I have ever heard in my life. The guitar is one of the greatest guitar players I've ever heard in my life. The rhythm section is money. All these things I know. But I've never listened to an album. And I don't know, because of the Biffy Clyro album reactions that I'm doing, I'm going in chronological order. I doubt I'm going to do that with Rory Gallagher. I very possible may get to all of the albums. I mean, that's very possible, but in chronological order, I don't know. I might go in between and mix, dance around, who knows, including live sets. And I have to say, I have watched and reacted to a live set that you will never see because it was blocked like a motherfucker. So just know it was awesome. And I think that was the Rock Palast show that was on YouTube and it got blocked. But we're going to take a look and a listen to the very first album from Rory Gallagher. Now, I did look up the Wikipedia information, so let's go through that real quick. Obviously, the debut album released in 1971. It marked his departure from the first band he formed, Taste. I feel like I should probably listen to something from his early stuff. I didn't really know that he was in a band before this. After disbanding Taste, Gallagher auditioned some of the best musicians available at the time. Noel Redding and Mitch Mitchell from Jimi Hendrix Experience were among those considered for the new combo, but he went with Jerry McAvoy on bass and Willigar Campbell on drums, both from Ireland. And I'm like, holy shit, if you're going to turn down those two guys from Jimi Hendrix, these guys that you're bringing in got to be pretty fucking good. And obviously we know that they are now. And I know that now. I didn't know before, and I'm glad I know now. So we got 12 tracks on here. The last two were covers, or are covers that were released on the CD version. So let's get started with Rory Gallagher's debut album from 1974. We'll kick it off with Laundromat, and I'm pretty sure that I have not heard any of the songs on here. I possibly could have heard them on the live set that I watched. But as far as like individual reactions, I'm pretty sure I have not. But Laundromat, Rory Gallagher, here we go. Yeah. Sounds like just a 1971 production. This is the 2017 remaster. I was actually really curious, and still am. You can hear the rawness in there being a first album, how raw it was going to sound, how much he had his sound sort of defined. But knowing he was in a band previously now, I could see this first album just being a little more refined, for lack of a better term. And it kind of sounds that way. But early 1971 production, but I love it. nice little riff, man. Yeah, you can just fucking hear the chemistry between the three of them from the fucking get-go, man. I always say that Jerry McAvoy bass almost seems like he's dueling with the guitar. Harmonica going in my right ear. I know that's Rory Gallagher, who plays a lot of fucking instruments, by the way. Vocals, guitars, alto, saxophone, mandolin, and harmonica.
Say I told you so, but maybe bad times come and go. You don't know that by now, well, then you never know. Why do you think of that? I'm on the street like an old stray cat. If you should look for me, you'll know exactly where to go. Well, come around and meet my friends. Well, they'll be there with me. We'll meet to the end. We'll meet to the end. What do you think of that? I'm sleeping down at the laundromat. If you should pass by, drop right in. Well, I don't have no clothes to
That
clean.
fucking riff, too, man.
Put inside the machine. But it's the craziest place I have ever been. Well, come round. Meet my friends. They'll be there with me. Right through to the end. Right through to the end. Right through to the end. Right through to the end.
I want to pause here before we go into and flow into the next song. I kind of like to flow into the next song on these album reactions. I'm going to bring it back just a little bit, but it is, I'm trying to figure out, I'd had the thought in my head and I'm trying to remember exactly what I was going to say, but essentially, you can just hear what a trend tone setter for this whole album. Being the debut, again, how is it going to sound? How refined was it? But it's rockin', understated. There's flair going on. A lot of cool nuances so far in this. And again, man, this guy is hot fire. Bonk. Nope. Just the smile. Well, that's really pretty. Whew. I'd have to really do some looking to see what came out first. But I mean, I definitely hear some like Led Zeppelin influence in here, and I definitely hear some like Crosby, Stills, Nash, sort of like uh, 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 that that scene in California. There was a bunch of bands, and I'm trying to remember what valley it was. But like the Birds and Crosby, Stills, Nash, and all these fucking bands. I can hear that influence in there too, man. This is fucking beautiful. Bring it back a little bit. I mean, I know when Led Zeppelin came out, but I'm thinking of songs like Going to California or things like that.
Just a smile that is spreading all over her face could warm up the room and set fire to the place. Yes, it could. You know it could.
Essentially, you can hear a 60s influence in here, which I fucking really like.
Now the fog is clinging all over the town. But one foot in front, then you just might fall down on the ground. She's in town.
All that percussion going on is really captivating. Trying to figure out what the fuck all that is. Man, and that fucking bass just kind of keeping that tone. Man, I fucking love this song. This halfway through, this is one of my favorite songs from Rory Gallagher so far. Just how delicate and nuanced it is. Again, it just screams 60s to me in a good way, man. I'm a big fan of the oldies. To me, that's like the greatest fucking era of rock and roll. 60s into the 70s, man. And you can definitely fucking hear that influence here. Almost Sabbathy when Black Sabbath would get into something like Solitude or Planet Caravan or something like that, or even like that tail end of Symptom of the Universe. There's that vibe going on here, and I fucking love it. It's also a fairly recent band. Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats has a great piece of music that reminds me of this. And they're a very throwback sounding band too. Yeah.
Like the rain that is falling all over the land, she cools down my mind when she touches my hand. Feels so good, yeah, so good.
It even sang in this song. Yet I thought it was a total instrumental. He could have been singing, and I was just captivated anyway and forgot. I think he was singing earlier. Yeah, am I glad he chose these two musicians, man, because I'm loving this rhythm section. This whole composition. As we flow into I Fall Apart, which I may have heard before, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I like how it flowed into this delicate piece too.
The ball of twine that you call my heart. Oh, but baby, is it so hard to tell the two apart? And so slowly you unwind me until I fall apart. I'm only living for the hour that I see your face, and when that happens, I don't wanna be no other place till the end of time. You'll be on my mind. I don't mind waiting for your love. More of time I've got plenty of. Rain or shine, please bring out your love. Make it shine like the stars above.
This is so fucking effective and impactful. Just the simplicity of this fucking song, and what when I say simplicity, not simplicity in playing necessarily, but in like tone. That bass is just keeping this fucking song going, man. Obviously the drums too. I don't want to understate that. They work so well together. But like with with Rory Gallagher, just freestyling, weaving in and out of that rhythm that just keeps fucking going, man. It is fucking captivating. It's a delicate fucking guitar, man.
I'm only living for the moment when I hear your voice. Oh, I
While freestyling, but keeping the fucking groove too.
don't have any choice.
It's so effective.
The day is long, so won't you come where you should be? Like a cat that's playing with a ball of twine that you call my heart. Baby, is it so hard to tell the two apart? And so slowly you unwind it till I fall apart.
Yeah. I'm pausing this right here just so I can bring it back, because I almost assumed, not that I was hoping, because I was really loving where we were at in the song, but I was expecting when it went from one delicate song into the next, I was like, oh, they're going to start delicate and kind of ramp their way up. That's probably what's going to happen. And I'll be fucking goddamned if I wasn't right. It feels like what's happening. I want to bring it back a little more. Ooh. Man. Man, that's different. Man, I like that. Fuck yeah, man. Pause right here before we flow into the next song. Man, this is why album order is so important to me just as a listener. And it's really hard for me to grasp people that don't listen to albums because it fucking, I don't want, it's not that I predicted it necessarily. I was like, man, it would be really cool. Those two songs met. One at the end, one at the beginning, right? And both very delicate compositions. And then I was just like, oh, it would be really cool if they started and just kind of ramped it up. And the dynamics of this production, it's very understated. It's not loud. You know what I mean? They're still rocking and going at a cool fucking pace, but it's just not loud. It's soothing. And it's so cool how they went from one song to the other. Man, so far, so fucking good. Wave Myself Goodbye, we're going to go into. Whoa, I just played it. I didn't listen to the last 10 seconds. Sorry, guys. Now it just sounds like swampy ass fucking swamp blues.
Anymore, I don't know why I feel so sore. I only know I love you more. Feel so blue, I think I'll wave myself goodbye. The people said you'd fade away from my mind. You wouldn't stay, but you get stronger there.
Is there any good Rory Gallagher documentaries? Somebody tell me. I'll probably look it up too.
So alone, I think I'll wave myself goodbye. This time, next time, it's all the same. I'll just go on playing the losing game.
I think it's Vincent Crane on piano. Yes.
Maybe I'll even forget your name. Someday.
It's a very fucking Western saloon piano sort of vibe to it, and I like it. I think that's that mandolin. Perhaps not.
It takes a fool too long to see. Can't make out the wood for the trees. I must have been blind as I could be. Now I feel so blue, I think I'll wave myself goodbye. Well, I don't know so blue, I think I'll wave myself goodbye.
Yeah, this is fun. Man, I really enjoyed that. It was an especially cool reprieve from the last two songs. Obviously, ended pretty rocking, and I really like how it just kind of stayed that whole vibey kind of thing, which probably is not a great way of describing what's in that vibey kind of thing. That it stayed in that kind of like 1800s Western saloon sort of vibe pretty much the whole way through and was just fun. Typically, a lot of times, man, I love the blues. I love it when it's incorporated into rock and roll correctly and in a cool fucking way. But a lot of times, the blues, I can only stand so much of it before I just get tuned out, you know? It's all very repetitive to me. It's sort of like punk rock in the way that I kind of get tuned out of punk rock after a bunch. But just the different like sort of vibes that each song has. First of all, it adds so much color and change to the blues. But when you go into this like quick 3.5 minute song, we're just going into this fucking dirty little swamp number, and man, fucking cool. All right, let's back this up a little bit and flow into Hands Up, which I feel like I may have heard too.
Hands up,
Ah.
reach for the sky, and I will tell you why. This is just a game I'm playing. You won't feel the same, I'm betting now. Get up, you know it's time that you made up your mind. Think of all the dreams you're chasing. Think of all the time you're wasting now.
Yeah, just sitting in that fucking pocket, man.
My world is upside down.
I could see this being a live fucking treat, doing it live. And I may have heard it live on the Rock Palace show. I may have.
Go out into the night, man, to the sky. You walk out the shoes you're wearing, might even lose your blues, no telling now.
pauses here before they get really going. I feel like they're really going to get going here. It is fucking so cool how they can sort of maintain the live aspect, jammy almost sort of vibe. And again, I can imagine that this song live. And again, I hate that I don't have that Rock Palace reaction anywhere for you to see. I may have heard that song live on that. I'm not sure. I feel like I have. But this fucking song is just built for a live fucking rage and jam, man. Man. The power of 3 fucking people right here, man. Holy shit. Man, that was fucking great. 100%. That was I feel like I'm going to say the same things a lot of times, but it's just like the way that fucking bass is keeping the groove of the song going. And then he is improvising and weaving his way in and out of things and adding nuances every once in a while, all the time adding nuances, but then like accentuating the fucking groove that the bass and the drums are holding down, specifically the bass, because that's what I'm hearing in my head. And it is just fucking cool. Sometimes that's all I got. It's just cool. Sinner Boy, we're going into. I bet that might be a ripper. I think there's your mandolin. At least.
City streets and rolling cars, the only sound you can hear. But you know you might be wrong. Just look right over here. Back up against the wall, hands on the bottle. You're gonna walk on by. When he cries, you gotta. Take that sinner boy home. Wrap him up, keep him home. He won't do no harm. Take him home right away.
That fucking slide, though. I'm loving the fuck out of this song, and I got distracted. I apologize, because I was like, what have I heard from this album before? And I have listened to Fall Apart. I didn't react to it. Sorry if I didn't fucking remember it. I could have swore I put it into my playlist, and I don't know if I've heard it since. But I think that is the only one. This song is really fucking dirty and fun, though. Let's keep it going.
Take that sinner boy home, wrap him up, keep him warm. He won't do no harm. Take him home right away. He's got no place to stay. Wrap him up right beside your home. Take that sinner boy home, wrap him up, keep him warm. He won't do you no harm.
Man, every song has its own fucking identity so far. I always say or wonder when I listen to an album I've not listened to before, how many duds are going to be in it? First of all, dud free so far. Second of all, it's really hard to do. Like I said, every song just has like a different identity, while using the exact same formula, more or less. More or less, that rhythm section is setting the fucking tone. That bass is the groove of the song, way more almost than the riffs. And he is just doing some fucking amazingly creative interludes and things going on. I think that was a mandolin too. So there's layering of instruments, I think, too. But it's really hard to do that, to have different identities for each song while using the same fucking formula, obviously. Or maybe not so obvious. Man. Fuck yeah. Now for the last time, man, dud free so far. I don't foresee there being any duds. Love the production in this, just coming in the really delicate one fucking side of the head.
You've done me wrong for the last time. You've sung your song, now I'm going to sing mine out loud. So loud, like the growing sea. You've played around for the last time. You've shown your claws, now I'm going to show mine. Watch out, I'll be about in the night. You ran around since the very first day. You had your moment, now I'm gonna have my play. So long, I'll be gone in the night.
There's such a, trying to figure out the right word, a solemn, serious like vibe to this. Solemn is, and dark probably a tad bit. For the last time, I don't really pay attention to lyrics when I'm listening to a song, especially for the first time. I don't have lyrics up now. I just want to, again, I say this all the time, focus on the way it makes me feels. Feels. How does it make me feels? But I forgot my point. It'll come back to me. But it's just a darker, solemn vibe.
You put me down.
I think the title kind of represents that, even though I'm not paying attention to the lyrics.
I hit the floor, but I got up on the count of 9. Goodbye. Don't cry when I'm
Whew. And Wilgar Campbell's fills in here are really fucking fun too. Woo! Hell yeah, we're going to let it flow right into It's You. God, this whole thing, it's just, again, every song has its own identity, but they're keeping the same formula of just that bass and those drums setting the fucking tone, man, of the song.
I begin to feel that I can breathe. There's only one thing I can do.
It's very Beatles-esque.
Call on the one who pulls me through. That is you, yeah, you. When I'm lost in some old lonely town, and there ain't no sign of you around, a voice comes whispering through my ear.
Yeah, this sounds very Beatles inspired to me. Very, very, very Beatles inspired to me. Just like an upbeat 2.5 minute song, almost so far. Just an upbeat. The only thing it's missing is like some high harmonies so far. But very, very Beatles-esque to it, and that's a compliment, 100%, man.
Almost feel you here, so near, so near.
There's that mandolin.
When the nights begin to drag me down, and there ain't nobody else around, there's only one place I must be. Close to you, you close to me. To me, to me.
One thing that I love about Rory Gallagher that I don't know if I've brought up before, and I'm really just kind of noticing it. I don't want to say he doesn't use a lot of vocals because every song has vocals in it pretty much, but like I don't think he's guilty ever of like diarrhea of the mouth, which is something I can relate to. Too many words. You know, there's a lot of times where you hear songs and you're like, you could have just kept that part instrumental. Well, it's like it's almost like he's thinking the same thing, where he's just like, I don't know if I have a verse for this section, so let's just go ahead and fucking jam. I prefer that. You know what I mean? His lyrics are great. I'm not knocking them. What I'm saying is it's like my dad used to say. Sometimes it's better to keep your mouth shut and let everybody think you're an idiot rather than open it and remove all doubt.
When the days begin to climb on me, and I begin to feel that I can't breathe, there's only one thing I can do. Call on the one who pulls me through. That is you, that is you.
Yeah, that was a very Beatles-esque song that I really fucking enjoyed as we flow into I'm Not Surprised. And I'm not surprised that, again, every song just has some different element to it. It is not repetitive. You are not hearing the same song every time. And I feel like, again, this is where the, refining your sound sort of comes in. A lot of bands on a lot of their first albums, uh, first of all, you got some duds, and we haven't had any fucking duds so far. But you get the same kind of thing. You get filler, and you're like, oh, Jesus, kill me. And that is not the fucking case here. I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised.
I like that little picking.
You didn't take the time to write me. I'm not surprised. You didn't take the time to call.
This sounds like, correct me if I'm wrong, I am quite a bit. I'm going to rewind it all the way back to the beginning. This seems to be sort of an almost Irish or Celtic, probably Irish, traditional song almost. That's kind of the vibe it's got for me, sort of that romanticism quality to it.
I'm not surprised you didn't take the time to write me. I'm not surprised you didn't take the time to call. But baby, you know it really shook me. Well, baby, I heard you're not coming back at all.
I love just the guitar and the fucking piano in here.
I'm not surprised you didn't stop to think about me. I'm not surprised you let me vanish from your mind. But baby, you know it overtook me when my friend said you're gonna leave me here behind. Whoa. Why must it be? Why must it be? Why must it be? Why must it be? I'm
Sorry. one more pause before the end of the song, and then we're gonna let it flow into "Can't Believe It's True." But I don't even know if the bass is going in here. I don't know if it's the bass or one of the like deeper toned keys of the piano. I don't know terms. I don't know what the fuck they're called. But I can't tell if it's the piano, the dong dong assisting that, accentuating that little thing, or if it's the bass. I can't tell. Either way, just the way low dynamic and acoustic vibe in this is awesome.
I'm not surprised you started out without me. I'm not surprised you even
Excuse me.
stopped to care. But baby, if you must desert me when you go, don't talk about me when I'm not there.
Yeah, another gem, man. Another gem on the debut album. What a fucking songwriter this guy is. And composer. I want to throw that word in there. Can't believe it's true. I want to add that this, right before he starts singing, great pause point, Smitty. I do want to add that this was originally the album closer, so I feel like it's worth noting. We're going to go into 2 more tracks were additionally added for the CD release, a couple covers, but I think it's worth noting that this was the album closer, so you can kind of put yourself in that perspective, at least for me.
I can't believe it's true. Baby, where are you? Baby, where are you? And in the night I'm walking in my sleep, a lonely man who just get no peace. Oh, how I wish I just could see your face. Then I wouldn't.
There's that sax, and I like the placement in it too.
Clock on the wall, why do you bother to chime at all? Clock on the wall, why does this have to happen at all? And in the day I'm walking on the street, hear the sound.
I love how that saxophone is placed in there. It is so understated and sits back. It doesn't overpower anything. You know what I mean? You might have some crazy solo saxophone solos coming in from Rory at some point, but right now it's just sitting back there and assisting the jam that's going on. I think that's pretty cool.
Steps walking after me. That's just trouble. Follow with me, follow. That is one thing I can't do without. Clock on the wall, why do you bother to chime at all? Spot on the wall, did I really see it moving at all?
Such a delicate fucking guitar part, man. Honestly, and you can just tell how good he is at nuanced songwriting. Throw this. It doesn't need to be fucking raging all the time. You don't necessarily have to turn everything up to 11 and just crank shit out. It's cool live, but especially on like an album where you can fuck with production and do all sorts of things. The fact that he's just a master of nuanced songwriting is one of the more awesome things about him. Woo! Man, just production. I feel bad even on the last song of the album. I just keep fucking pausing it, but it's just the production aspect in here is fucking crazy awesome. Where you got the drums and the bass right here. I have to point at my head just to describe how I'm hearing it. Your saxophone's over here. You got Rory's guitar over here. You got your fucking rhythm section right here, and it is, while separated due to fucking fantastic engineering, it's so fucking cohesive. And again, just the way I love hearing all the different elements of a song. Being able to pick out all the different elements and finding what is the most awesome part is some of the best parts about Rory fucking Gallagher.
I can't believe it's true. I wonder where are you? I wonder where are you? And in the night I'm talking in my sleep. The things I say I just can't repeat. No fingerprints to know. You've got your hands on my very soul. Clock on the wall, why do you bother to chime at all? Clock on the wall, why does this have to happen at all?
Song is Lemmy approved. I'm gonna let it flow into Gypsy Woman, which is a Muddy Waters cover. God, that was really fun, man. I get distracted by my cat every once in a while. Man, and sounds like Muddy Waters.
The gypsy woman told me, you were your mother's bad luck child. The gypsy woman told me, you were your mother's bad luck child. You're having a good time now. You'll be having trouble afterwards. When I see the gypsy woman, they have my fortune told. She said, run right home, run away, and look through your keyhole. The gypsy woman told me, you were your mother's bad luck child. You're having a good time now. You'll be having bad times afterwards.
I was waiting for that. I was wondering if we're going to get into some of that Rory Gallagher sauce on that, you know? The fucking slide, man. I don't know if I've heard a better slide player. Sorry, Bonnie Raitt.
Believed everything the gypsy woman told me. Every single word she said. I ran right home, right away, and looked through my keyhole. Another man in my bed. The gypsy woman told me, you were your mother's bad luck child. You're having a good time now. You'll be having bad times afterwards.
I don't know what Muddy Waters song copyright situation is, or at least Muddy Waters estate, how much they get paid from royalties. I don't know if Muddy Waters songs have gone into like what do they call that, free use, where after a certain amount of time copyright laws don't apply. But I only hope that like Muddy Waters estates got fucking paid for all of the covers that were done by name a fucking band in the 60s and 70s that were covering Muddy fucking Waters, man. Probably up until present day. Fucking Rory on the harmonica too, man. We're going to flow into It Takes Time, originally done by Otis Rush. I don't know if I've ever heard of Otis Rush or heard Otis Rush. But it sounds like it's right up his fucking alley.
Every time, babe, I get you off my mind. Little by little, I watch my love slow down. Yeah, yeah. Do you know what it means to be alone? Today you'll laugh at me, and tomorrow you could be crying. Well, you live by the day, you go it on your own. You got a little shawty, now come on and try and make it home. Yeah, yeah. Know what it means to be alone. Today you're laughing, woman. Tomorrow you could be crying. Yeah.
Woo!
Live by the day, you go out on your own. You got a little Johnny, now come on and try and make it home. Yeah. Do you know what it means to be alone? Today you're laughing, woman. Tomorrow you could be crying. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Do you know what it means to be alone? Today you're laughing, woman. Tomorrow you could be crying.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. I don't know if I'm surprised, but I am pleasantly fucking satisfied with that album. I expected it to be good. I expected to hear glimpses of brilliance that I've heard, and especially live stuff. But man, again, first album, is it going to be, are you going to have a refined sound? How raw is it going to be? But you hear the template for what Rory Gallagher did start right here, and not a dud on this whole album. The covers were well chosen and well performed and made it sound like your own. Man, Roy fucking Gallagher. I have to say, one more time, Lemmy approved, right? 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 Huh? You guys hopefully enjoyed that video. I can foresee myself going down a way more of a Rory Gallagher rabbit hole as my cat fucks with my hoodie. Peace out, you guys. How do I get out of here? How do I get out of here?
What the hell? Everything!